Yo, what up, everyone? Thank you guys for tuning in on to one of the greatest shows here on Instagram where we talk to your favorite artists about the trade, the tools, and of course, we can't forget them tips, right? I'm your host, Zim Zimmer, and you guys are on Chatting with Zim. This is episode number 76. Just a little quick thing. Everybody is updated on my YouTube channel, so make sure you guys are going out there, liking, subscribing, all that good jazz. And that's how we keep the show moving. Before we bring in our guests, just one quick second. Just want to say shout out to Joe DT. He was in episode number 75 last week, and Bags for Days. So make sure you guys are going out there onto the YouTube channel and checking them out. Make sure you guys are listening to all the other previous guests that I had on. And that's pretty much it. Without any further ado, let's get our guest in today. Still no Panda Makeup, Notorious Pez. And thank you guys for tuning in. Today we got an awesome artist all the way from Kansas, originally from Chicago. Tony, a.k.a. pt1 or 30. So let's go ahead and give him a warm welcome. Oh, there it is. A fierce lion. Oh, wait, never mind. It's just Tony. What's up, bro?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Good, man. It's good to see the face finally. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. It's been a while, man.
Yeah, word. No, man. And shout out to everybody else who's joining in. Shout out to Seven is Life. Make sure you guys are checking out his show as well. He also does interviews. Hit him up. Check out the show, the IGTV, Live with Seven. We got Dead and Laughing as well, and Respect the Artist. They're all doing the same stuff. So go check them out. I highly recommend all these peeps. That being said, on with the show, man. We got Tony on today. What's up, bro?
What's up?
How's that Sunday treating you, man?
It's good. It's just chilly over here. Kansas City. You think it's kind of hot, but it changes climate. It's not like Chicago. Chicago's really windy.
Yeah, how cold does it get out there, man? Because I don't really picture it getting like super cold.
I think it gets cold like between, maybe like into their 40s. It reaches out. It's almost kind of like Chicago, but it's there.
Word. Yeah. No, man, it's gonna be like that. It's that weather, man. 40 degrees out here. You still got these fucking people wearing shorts, bro. So
yeah.
It's not like Cali. It's not like Cali. Yeah. You got 70 degrees and they're out there in hoodies and all that crazy shit.
Yeah, I've been there and I seen people with, there's like 80 degrees and they're still cool. They're still with big jackets, and I'm like, what?
For real. So, man, without let's get the show started, bro. I mean, obviously Tony. Let's start with the name. TT1 or 30, or is it T-Toner 30, bro?
Just T-Toner. I got it by one of my friends. He will call me Tony, and then he will call me Toner.
Nice.
And then I'm like, just go with it. Every time you'll see me, you're like, what up, Toner? And I will never use it, but I just took it like, let's take it.
Orale. And man, so I've spoken to you quite some few times before the show,
yeah.
But your name, bro, that's a legend's name right there, man.
I don't even know, man. It's a legend or not. Well, the real name it is an actual legend from Mexico. About. But yeah, I mean it's a singer. He's from our same state as we're from.
Oh shit.
And but his family lives like I think like 15 minutes away from me. So
nice.
So yeah, he's there.
That's awesome. And we'll keep the audience guessing on that one. We'll probably reveal a little bit something about that later. You know what I'm saying? Let them catch that mystery.
Yeah.
Cool, brother. So, I mean, for all you guys, if you guys haven't checked them out, you guys are doing yourself a disservice. Definitely very dope a bunch comic fan art, and I definitely dig everything you're doing, brother. You know what I mean?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, dig your style. I've seen you draw, seen your lives. If you guys haven't followed him, then you guys are, like I said, missing out. He does all these dope lives, and you're quick with it, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, well, thank you.
This guy. So take us
So how's
back,
your
dude.
Sunday, King?
Man, my Sunday is good, bro. Got a nice early interview with you, man, and that kind of leaves the rest of the day free for me. A little later, I got to take some commissions I did, so I got to go
All
and
right.
deliver them or meet them halfway. Uh, got that planned, and then more drawing, dude. So you might catch me on the live from here to there, guys.
Okay. You got more people to interview or just me?
No, no, just me. I'll probably go live, and we'll see who joins in later on. You know what I mean?
All right.
Yeah, that's
Cool,
what's
cool.
up. Yeah, and then another special announcement, dude. I think that I'm pretty sure now that they released or took in that hour off of the
Mhm.
Instagram live. So I mean, after the hour, we're gonna go for the original hour, and then I'll leave it up to you guys as artists, to decide if you guys want to carry the conversation a little further. I'm always down. Okay,
All right.
just putting that out there. Cool.
Also, so they took it up then.
Yeah, yeah. Now it's
Oh, wow.
unlimited time now, dude. It's been like that for like
Okay.
a week, I think, and so that's pretty good. It kind of serves shows like this just better service for you guys and stuff.
Cool, cool.
So, without any further ado, let's get into it, man. What drew you into doing comic book art or just art in general?
I mean, it all started like I think I was really young. Probably I was 6 or 7 years old, and I think my brother during that time he was into comic books. I was not into it yet until he was the one bringing all that stuff out. Oh, thanks for showing him.
Yeah, dude.
And from there on, I started like digging it later on. But my first, I think, art thing was I think I wanted to start doing it with a coloring book. I think that's how I started. And then
Okay.
from there on, I started like copying what the coloring book was doing, not tracing, just copying the same thing. And then from there, that's when I started like checking out more details on you know I wanted to draw comic books, and that's what happened. Comic books, was blowing my mind because back then in the I think 40s and 50s, I remember Jack Kirby showing like he would draw Captain America and he would draw Spider-Man and like the Fantastic Four, but there was never a background. So later on, I think when he quit Marvel, I think he went to DC. He started bringing like the New Gods, Miracle Man, and all that, and that's when it got me more interested, like to see more of the anatomies and all that was going on, and then the backgrounds because I don't know if you remember, like in the 40s and 50s, there was no background. There was you just see Captain America or Spider-Man swinging or Captain America holding the shield, but you wouldn't see like a house or where they're coming now. You will see like a house, but it wasn't like detail. It was just like
Yeah.
and that's when he started bringing more of that, like I think in the 80s, and then that's when he blew up, and he says that to make a good artwork really good, you need to have uh, anatomies and details and backgrounds so it could look more dynamic. And that's what got into me a lot of that comic book stuff. Even though my mom, I don't know, I think I told you this back then. I think in Mexico, she will. My grandfather would talk about the Justice League, because back then comic books were not actually a book; it was only a newspaper.
Mm.
They will put them in there, and he will like read all these stories. And after that, my mom said that my uncles were all into that. And then my mom would tell me too that when like in the I think it was the 70s or 80s, my uncle, her brother, would collect comic books, a lot of comic books back then, and he will have a collection. And after that, I think my grandfather gave them away. So
Oh man.
imagine those comics, worth
Yeah.
a lot of money.
Yeah, dude.
but uh, but yeah, man. I mean, that's how I got into that. it was first. You know how in the '90s, I don't know if you remember, but in the '90s it was X-Men, and
Mm.
then, well, actually it was first Transformers, Thundercats, He-Man, and GI Joe, and then I think it was X-Men, and then Spider-Man, and then Power Rangers, and then Pokemon, and then Yu-Gi-Oh and all that. So everything started evolving. That's how I got into all of that. But
For sure.
manga was not my first thing. It was, I think, American stuff, like, like the Western stuff.
Yeah.
So that's how I got into more comic books. And then I think in high school, freshman year, that's when I started doing manga. That's when I wanted to check it out to see how it was, because I would love those big eyes and
Yeah.
those small little heads, and then how they do all these reactions, those expression faces. That was like pretty cool. And then I remember, I think it was freshman year still. I was in high school. I think they were giving the show. I think it was called Escaflowne, and then
Oh,
Ronin
dude.
Warrior, and
Yeah.
then I think it was another show. Well, there was a bunch of them that were streaming during that time, and I got into that. That's when I was like, man, Ronin Warriors is bad. So that's when I was like, I gotta see what they're talking about. And then I would never miss an episode from them, because when I heard that X-Men and Spider-Man were gone, that's when Ronin Warriors started coming in, and that's what got to me more with manga, and then Dragon Ball. That's when later on they were telling me like, oh, you know what, manga is doing this. Oh, okay. And then they're like, you should check out Dragon Ball Z. And my friends used to tell me about, I don't know how you remember, I think it's called now Saint Seiya.
Oh, yeah.
They, back then in Mexico, it was more famous. And so
Caballeros.
I was like, oh, okay, yeah. So, so from there on, I was like, okay, I'll check it out. Did check it out. Then I was like, but I'm into Ronin Warriors because because it was more like better. It was nothing like something that it was different. It was actually really good. I like how the whole stories were about. And then Escoflone, and that's when I was like, man, that's pretty cool. How you got a prince defending the earth for something that's going on. And but then I heard that it has stopped, and then I was like, they made it into a movie, and that's when I got mad. I don't want to see it no more,
Yeah,
because now
yeah.
they just made a movie. They didn't did the whole episodes. I don't know what happened. And then I was watching Gargoyles. I don't know if you remember that.
Gargoyles is a shit, dude.
Yeah, and then I was seeing that, and then I was seeing what was the other stuff? Yeah, and after that, I just like let it go, and um went back to watch movies now. That's when I started seeing X-Men, the first movie, coming out, and that's when I'm like, man, I gotta get back to this, because I remember it took me a year that I left art. I didn't went back towards it. I just left it like, man, I don't want to, try it out again.
Yeah.
But after that, when the movie started coming out, like the first X-Men movie, I was like, I gotta go back. I gotta start drawing certain characters, and that's when I went back buying comic books or buying action figures, and that's when I'm like, yeah, I gotta keep that going. And then I remember I kept some of my brother's, I think Upper Deck cards from Marvel from the '90s,
Oh, yeah.
and I
Yeah.
and I kept some of those cards, and I still have them. I still have them in a box. And that's when I'm like, yeah. And then I don't know, you remember the Marvel masterpieces, like the paintings? Those were
Yeah.
nice too, and
Yeah.
the Marvel medal, they were nice too. So I mean, it was pretty cool. Everything that you had to see with the artwork. That's how you get a lot of reference and training. So yeah, I mean, that's the thing that kept me up. Working on artwork.
Yeah, that's definitely some nice origins, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And you gave us a lot, man, a lot to work with, as far as like manga and anime, cartoons. So, just some of the questions is well, obviously, thank you guys for tuning in, and for all the viewers, they also participate in here. Uh,
yeah. Thank you.
and let's do it a little different. I usually save questions for towards the end of the show, but let's just go ahead and incorporate it now. You know, uh, Seven is asking. He wrote in a question earlier. He says, "Go ahead and share it there." He says, "Gotta know what his favorite comic series is." So, do you have a favorite series either back then or anything that you're enjoying now, man?
Yeah, my favorite comic book series. He's talking about comic books or comic book like cartoons.
Let's do both. Let's do comic book.
Okay, comic book will be the death of Superman.
Nice.
That is my one of my favorite stories from DC, and then I think the Killing Joke with Batman and the Joker.
Mm,
That's one of my
classics.
favorite from the 90s. And then from the year 2000, I think is for Marvel will be I think man, I keep forgetting the name, but it's called I think it has to do with Thor and I think his uncle. I think it's called the Sin, something about the Sin. Um, that one was one of my favorite ones too. And then I think oh, it's called Original Sin. There you go. That's the title of the name. And then what other one too? Oh, Fear Itself. That's one of my favorites. And from the X-Men, I think it's the House of X. No, the House of M. I think is what it's
Yeah,
called.
yeah.
And now they made the new ones called House of X. So I'm trying to go over that too.
I
And
I,
then
I haven't read those, but I heard the House of X is it's pretty ill, man.
yeah,
And let me see if I could find it while you keep letting us know about it. I know there's a website where you guys could read comic books for free.
yeah.
So let me go ahead and find it while you keep talking. But I think I know what it is.
And then there's what was the other one? I think it was called the Mythology. I think it's from the DC universe.
Mm.
I think Alex Ross was the painter that did that one. That one's a good book. Uh, what else? And then the first issue of X-Men with Jim Lee, the first original. I don't know if you remember. I made a poster. That's when Magneto comes out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the
That
number
one.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. That was my favorite from X-Men from Jim Lee. And
It's
from
it's
Jim Lee now.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny you say that because that was the moment where I pretty much started learning about comics. It was
Oh,
because of Jim Lee's number one. I had my older brothers at the time. Him and my older cousins. We all grew up around the same age, so they would go ahead and buy all those comics. So I still have those, the original ones. I still have the Death of Superman from back in the '90s. You know.
yeah. And then I think Wildcats when he was an Image.
Oh
I
yeah,
like those two. And then I like the was which one? The Youngblood, the one with Rob Liefeld.
yeah,
And then there
Youngblood.
was Michael Turner as Fathom. Those were actually good comics.
Rest in peace.
And yeah, and then who else? Mark Silvestri. I think he did Darkness. I think that was called. That one, and what was the other guy? And from Image still. Well, I mean, The Walking Dead. I mean, it's still really
Oh
good,
yeah, that's
even
still
though
going
it's black
strong.
and white. I mean, yeah. So I mean that's like one of my comic books too. Um, and there was which other one? Um, and there was another comic book from Marvel's The Fantastic Four. I think it was the one when they are fighting Galactus. I keep forgetting the title because it's old. So those are the ones that I think to me those were the best ones that I like to read and I took as something that I could like go on and keep you know drawing as an experience.
Oh word. And it's so that's pretty dope. Do you still like have them? Like, do you physically collect this, or is this something that you like? maybe what is that called? Comixology or something like that?
Yeah. No, I actually have the one that I talked about. I think it's called Originals. No, it was the original. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was the one with Thor and his uncle.
Hmm.
That one I do have it. Um, it's like 7 issues of that comic book. I still have that one. The Death of Superman, I had it, but then I think my brother took it because Superman, that's his favorite character.
Oh, word.
And I still have some of them that I still buy from I think Five Below. They sell
Yeah.
some
Okay.
DC comics, so I started buying some of them there. Um, and I still have some of the X-Men, the original, but they don't have the cover. They just only, I think my brother took the cover, so he just left me the book. So I still have those.
Nice.
Um,
That's funny.
and yeah, I mean, I think that's about it. Yeah. I mean, I have a lot of comic books, but they're all different. They're
Word.
not all like in a big old, whole collection. I'm probably be missing like 3 more books out of that, and I just have 1 out of 3, and it's 1 out of 10.
Word.
So that's all I have.
You
Oh,
know,
and the other one too is Planet Hulk. That one was really good. One of my good favorite comics. But then I saw the cartoon on Netflix, and I was like, oh, okay. But they just mix it up.
it's like whatever. I guess. Cool. Now I'm gonna ask you the same thing for cartoons. You know what? Actually, before you answer that question, just really quick for all you comic nerds out there, if you guys don't want to read or don't want to sign on to that comicology stuff, go to readallcomics.com. Readallcomics.com. You guys can read any comic for free. Spread the word, I guess. I don't care. Man, and we got some questions rolling in too, but before, actually, let's take a look at the questions really quick. Oh man, Seven asked a really great question, man. Do you remember Wizard magazine?
Oh yeah. I used to collect those, man. They were like, bro, every month I will be like, there was a store where I used to live in Chicago. It was called Moreno's, and it was right there by Hamlin and 26. And they used to sell Wizard comics all the time. And every month I would go and you know just check them out. And I told the guy, the owner, they're like, hey, you got the new Wizard? Like, hey, call me every time you get it. He's like, yeah, I got you. But he would never call me, so I don't know. I would go over there and I'm like, hey, bro, I told you to call me.
He
He's
had one
like,
job.
yeah, he's like, oh, I forgot, man, I'm busy. He wasn't even busy. He was just smoking in the back right there in his little desk. And every time I would walk in, one of his assistants will always give me that Wizard comic. Yeah, I used to collect Wizard comics because I remember it would come with a little card
Oh
or a
yeah,
little small comic book. And I will still have those cards with me. I still have some of those cards with me. But
man. Later in the interview, if we go a little past hour one, remind me. I'll show you. I still have mine. I should have about a good 50 of those still. You know.
do you have the Superman Lightning one?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? How about the Youngblood with the X Force in the back?
Are we talking about the Wizards, the covers?
Yeah, yeah.
Man,
Well, it was the cards. It will come with a little card, like a
oh no,
aluminum card, like kind of like hologram, and
yeah,
we'll have
no,
two.
dude.
It will have like in every month it will have a different comic book artist in there, like whoever painted. And you will have Todd McFarlane doing his Spawn, and then you will have like somebody from Marvel, like Jim Lee, doing Wildcats, and then the X-Men. It will be dope.
No, yeah, dude, tell me about it, man. My favorite part from the Wizard was two things. One, I would love to open up the page and see where those artists were sending in those envelopes. Remember that?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
I also used to like it when they would take artists and give us like a few 4 or 5 pages on how they do their things, on their tips, how to get more dynamic posing and stuff like that. So those were the first two
yeah,
things,
yeah.
and yeah, hell yeah, dude, bringing
Yeah,
back
I still
memories, man.
remember that. Yeah, yeah, that's straight up, man. Because I I will have a lot of them. And then one time I had to get rid of some of them because I was just piling up, man. I had boxes full of Wizard comics, and it was just big, dude. I mean, because it will teach you how to draw too. I mean, you will have some of these artists coming in there, and they will be like, drawing for you, and they will have like some sketches out there, and then they will tell you like, oh, this is how you could get reference. I wouldn't like, look at it. I would just like I will memorize it so like that I could have the idea of like if I want to
Hmm.
draw Spider-Man, I would just memorize them like, oh, I want him to do this. So that will be one of my things that I will take over for art, like to teach myself.
Nice. We got another question too from Pez, but let me ask this question before we answer it. So, you said you were in a manga and anime and stuff like that. Are you? Is that something you still watch to this date, man?
Yeah, I was watching the new Dragon Ball Z, the new cartoons when I think it was that alien guy, the bald one, Jiren, I think that was his
Okay.
name, and was fighting with Goku and Frieza. I still, look at that. I was watching I don't know if you've seen them, but they brought out, Marvel brought out some animated
Mm-hmm.
manga style with the Punisher, the Black Widow, and the Avengers, and then they did the Iron Man, and then they did the Blade, and then the Wolverine, and then they did an X-Men, and the X-Men one was my favorite one. I think that was like
Mine's too.
one of the best ones because I like how Wolverine they actually made him into an actual animal. Like he went like rampage, So that was one of my favorite
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah. Very, very. A lot of I talked to some artists, and when I bring it up, they kind of goes past their head. But yeah, dude, X Men, an animated one. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Animated style is definitely, definitely. If you guys are X Men fans, then you guys need to watch that. Um,
yeah. Even right now in Disney Plus, they put the Fantastic Four as a manga anime.
oh
And
snaps! I gotta
anybody
check it
that
out.
has Disney Plus, you could watch it there, and it's like right there. You could see them like manga. They have different styles. They have the American one from the 90s, and they have the one from the 2009 Fantastic Four. So I mean, it's pretty cool. But the 2009 is like Japanese style. That's how it looks.
Word. And let's go into the Notorious Pez. Shout out Notorious Pez for the question. He's asking, what's fun and what is more difficult to draw now, anime or these Western comics?
Yeah, good question. I think more. I think more Western style. Why? Because Western style, what you're drawing. Like for example, um, two artists that I know that are really good in art are like Tom McFarlane and Jim Lee. One with Tom McFarlane is that I like how he starts first with his hands and makes a way around with his body. And with Jim Lee is that he starts sketching right away. But the thing about Western comics is that you have to add a lot of detail, a lot of shadow. And with manga, you don't do a lot; you just do a little bit. But you can bring out more color to manga and to American style. Because in American Western, it's like more, it's more shadowing than what manga does. Manga brings out a lot of color, and they could just do one line on one of the full character and just building it and then just adding the color. And with Western style, like now, you gotta add detail, you gotta add these lines, you gotta add this, and it takes more time with Western. It's more difficult with Western manga.
Yeah, I think I think you're onto something. From what I noticed is manga and all that stuff there. It's very simple but very effective. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. And yeah, man, definitely. Anything? Any other things that you anime that you watch, man? Like for example, like
I was watching with one of my friends here in Kansas City. He was showing me One Punch Man,
oh
and
yeah, hell yeah.
he was telling me because he's a Superman fan. he was telling me that he loved One Punch Man, but in my mind I was like, man, I mean, even though I saw the preview, I'm like, the guy looks boring. He's walking and he looks boring. I'm like, he's like, go give it a try, and I'm like, okay, I'll go give it a try. So I went to his house and we were watching it, and then right away the first episode, I was falling asleep. So I was like, oh man, this is like getting me bored. But then the second episode, I'm like, okay, it's getting better. And then that's when I found out that his power was just to work out.
Yeah.
That was it. And I was like, I thought he came from another planet or something. And that's when I started laughing. I'm like, okay, I get the point now. And that's when I like, okay, One Punch Man is cool.
Yeah, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups. What is like a 10-mile run or something like that every morning? Yeah, dude.
Even the aliens were, the monsters were shocked. They're like, what?
Yeah,
that's your power.
That's
yeah, all that
badass.
work.
Him versus Superman.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what I always thought too, because I remember YouTube made a video of that. It was One Punch Man fighting Superman, and I'm like, what? And then I think when they were done fighting, Thanos pops out.
Oh shit!
And that's when they start fighting. I'm like, okay, that's enough.
Now, what about besides that, besides anime, just cartoons itself, man? Do you still watch any cartoons?
Right now, well, I was watching. What was that?
And this is apart from like cartoon movies, you know. This is apart from like DC
movies.
No, not movies. Just like cartoons, like
episodes.
Episodes, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, I was watching. I think it was called Naruto. Okay. I started watching it, and then my friend at work was like, "Oh, you gotta get into Naruto. You know, Naruto is really good." And I'm like, okay. I started watching it, but then I'm like, eh. And then he's like, nah, you gotta watch the new ones. You know, the more advanced ones. And I'm like, there's more advanced ones.
Isn't that the Boruto or something like that?
Something like that, yeah. And then that's when I'm like, oh, okay. And then I start watching.
We gotta ask Pez, man, the anime know-it-all over here. I think it's Boruto. I think it's like, I'm not it's not that I'm not a fan of Naruto. I just never seen it, but I am familiar with them. I don't hate on it. It's cool. They look cool designs. It looks cool. I just don't have the time to watch everything at once. But
yeah. I mean, I was watching them, and then I'm like, oh, okay. So this one was more like faster in action. The Boruto, the one that you were telling, and the other one was, they were telling me that the first one, the original one, was better, and I'm like, it's okay, but I'm like, I'm not into it that much. So the only character that I did like was the guy that would draw and summon his creatures out of a paper. That was the only guy that I was liking. And then from there, I think it was Castlevania. I started watching that on Netflix. I mean, it was pretty cool. I mean, I prefer the games, the classic games from Castlevania. I think that was like, one of the best ones, and it still reminds me of I don't know if you remember Vampire Hunter D. That was like one of the ones that I really liked, and that cartoon was from the '90s, but then actually made it into a movie, because they were gonna bring an episode, but only Japan supposedly, I think in the '90s, had that episode, not America, only Japan. And that Vampire Hunter D came out with 2 movies. So I think the second one was kind of like, I didn't like it. It was too weird. But the first one was, I think, the best one.
There you go. And Pez has answered, the anime sensei here, Notorious Pez. He says it's Naruto, and then Naruto Shippuden. I don't know if I'm saying that right. He said, and then it's a spin-off off the main heroes, his Boruto. Okay, so that makes sense. Now, aside from all of this, man, how long you been on Instagram, brother?
I think I started in 2011. or 2010. I'm not sure. I think one of those 2 years. I think I
Okay,
started.
cool.
I was starting to do videos to teach how to use different techniques of artwork. That's when I started wanting to make I started making some YouTube videos, how to, draw with different materials and tools that I had. And from there, I'm like, I'm gonna start with Instagram.
Word.
So that's when I'm gonna show my artwork first there because there's people watching you
Yeah.
and they might like what you do.
Shit, and there's people on YouTube, man. Plug away, dude. Where can we find you at on YouTube, bro?
Yeah, it's same thing, Teen Toner.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's Teen Toner and then there's a point and then it's Aguilar. I think that's how it goes. But if not, I'll give you, if it doesn't come out like that, I'll give you the link to it.
Cool. No, I'll definitely find it. If I have to go into Facebook or YouTube headquarters myself, I'll find it. Any other social media besides Instagram? You said this is what you wanted to start off in.
Yeah, I mean, it was that, and then I was at Facebook, but then I took it down. I didn't want to bring it out because Facebook was getting boring to me already. I'm like, nah, it's just getting dumb. And then a friend of mine's, he's an artist too. He was telling me that Instagram and Snapchat are the only ones that will like watch your artwork, including Twitch. They will watch your artwork. Patreon will watch your artwork, and yeah, I think that was it. And those were the ones. But he said that Facebook will, but I mean that's only like if you want to put more pictures and all that stuff, because that's how he sees Facebook. But then I'm like, let's try with Instagram because there was a lot of people telling me, oh, do it on Instagram, do it on Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. And I'm mostly more on Instagram than those other apps.
Cool. I get you. I'm the same way. More exclusive towards Instagram. The other ones, I don't know. It's just Facebook wasn't really happening for me. I actually originally started there first. Nothing
Mhm.
was popping. I came to Instagram, and that's where my
I
story
thought
starts.
I thought the first thing was MySpace,
Oh man.
then Facebook, and then Instagram, then Snapchat, and Twitter.
You know what? During MySpace, I had time off. That's where my hiatus in the art took place. You know what I mean? Um,
Mhm.
you mentioned that as well at the beginning of the hour. You know that you had taken a break. Uh, is there a specific reason for that? You know, is it something that you kind of just
Um,
like fell off, or I mean, if it's more personal, you don't have to share. But
well, I mean, everything was okay. I had a lot of stuff to do and stuff to think about. But I mean, I wasn't yet. I mean, I will draw, but not a lot.
okay,
That's the thing, and that's when I started like doing more things that I wanted to do, like go out or hang out with
yeah, word.
friends. So yeah, it wasn't like something that I just said nah. I just stopped because I don't know. I just felt like stopping.
Yeah,
And that was it.
just felt like
But then
taking
I'm
that break.
like, yeah. So my friend, one of my friends, contacted me. He's like, nah, you gotta get up on that. It's That's where money is and stuff is, and people will know you. I mean, even
Exactly.
though he's an artist too, he does drawings. He don't have like Instagram or Facebook. He doesn't do social stuff, but he does more of Twitch.
Okay.
Like that's what he said. So I'm like, okay, cool. And then from there, because we used to be in that art school. I don't know. I don't know if I told you the one in Chicago, right there in Randolph 66 in downtown. That's how I met him in there in that school.
Yeah, no,
And
no, we haven't gotten into that yet, man.
but yeah,
Well, let's ask it. Schooling, there's a lot of artists who are self-taught. You obviously went to school. What did you go for, and what did you learn from it, man?
yeah. So I went to So there was a school in downtown called Gallery 37 in Chicago. That happened in high school. That's when I think in the year 2000, some of the teachers were checking out people's artwork, and I was like, okay, they one of my teachers, I still remember her. She would tell me, hey, you should come and subscribe and participate in this art program, and you get high school credits. And I was like, oh, okay. So they would tell you straight up, like, oh, you could take away PE or algebra and all that, but it was fake. It was true. So they just wanted you to go, and I found out towards the end that it wasn't like that. So I went. I subscribed. Me and my other four friends, we went in there too, because she liked how our talent was. And we went and we had our first interview, and there was a lot of students from different high schools in that place, man. There was people that knew how to do animation, even dancing. What was it, culinary arts, um, like drawing with chalk, markers, pencil, anything that you could describe from art. That was the whole school for that. And I was there for, I think, like 4 years, and the teachers there were teaching us everything. The thing that I hated the most was, I think, was sculpture. Why? Because every time they wanted you to do something, you gotta get dirty and messy. You have to build molds, and our teacher that was there, she was teaching us a bunch of stuff like, oh, you guys have to do this or you have to do that, and I was like, okay, cool, whatever. But then after that, I was like, I hate this. And then one of my other teachers, I think his name is Mr. Satsinger. He was the one that was teaching us how to draw with pencil better.
Sad singer.
Yeah. Yeah. So so he will like teach us like all these things, these different styles of pencil, how to hold your pencil, how to draw with your pencil. And from there on, that's when I was like, okay, I was trying to get better with my artwork, because I was suck, I was not a good artist. I was just stick with like regular things. And from there on, I started like uh, learning more about shadowing, lineup, learning about shapes, fingers, body. They would take us to Columbia College for a trip to check the naked figure. So we will go there, and they will teach us like, this is a naked person, draw it. And, they will teach everything. Like, you gotta draw this, you gotta draw that. And you gotta make sure what position you're at. That's the way you're gonna draw them. So let's say if the person is like this, and you're drawing this way, you're gonna draw only what's in the back. If you're drawing this way, you're gonna draw whatever's in the front. So those were the main ideas that he wants. And then you have to rotate every like hour to get another spot on how to draw. So I mean, that was one of the things that they taught us too there. And in that same school, we learned that there were some kids from the age of 5 and 6 years old already being trained to learn how to draw portraits. Yeah.
Holy shit, man.
And we were shocked, because the thing is that there's 8 floors in that building.
Yeah.
So in those 8 floors, we will see like different classes, from animation to like even penciling and shadowing and painting, acrylic, all that. Every class was different. So towards the end of the bottom, there was only a class for children, and well, like I said, they were like 5 or 6 years old, and we would tell the teacher like, how old are these kids? And they're like, well, they're like 5 or 6 years old. The oldest one is 8 years old, but I'm like, man, this is like really good. And they would do like real portraits of faces. And I'm like, oh man, like who's teaching these kids? And he's like, oh, us, because the teachers were there, and they're like, oh, us, we're teaching you. And then from there on, I think one of my 8 teachers, because I had 8 teachers, and those 8 teachers were teaching me different techniques, style. So, for example, my last teacher most of them passed away already. The last one that passed away in 2012. um, he would tell me like never leave your talent. Keep going with your talent. No matter if you're going through like rough day or a good day, just keep drawing. I got some of his advice and took it, and I wanted to still draw. And
Great
that's one of the
advice.
things that I wanted to do. Yeah,
Great advice. Now,
and
now I got
yeah,
another question, man.
yeah. Go ahead.
Being that you were an artist and you were schooled in it as well, do you feel that art school is a necessity for artists, or does that make sense? Do you feel
Yeah, yeah,
like an
yeah.
artist needs that schooling per se, or is it something that it's like well,
Well, I mean, every artist that's starting up, like I tell a lot of guys that ask me questions, I always say that when you're in school, you're learning a lot of new things that you never teach yourself. Like for example, myself, I was getting books from Leonardo da Vinci, Diva, Van Gogh, all those painters, and I will see some of their figures, anatomies, styles from Italians because they were mostly Italian styles of their faces.
mm,
And then I will see some other artists like from Germany and from I think Australia. They would draw like Gothic style, like medieval time style, and I will like combine them and check out which one was better, you know, and what I could learn from them. But the thing was that the way that I was learning from them is that all the anatomies or the reference they had, it was teaching me how to like get better. But if you're gonna go to school, you could get so many ideas there that teachers could teach. You got to make sure that that teacher that's teaching you is teaching you the right artwork. Because there's some teachers that teach you and say, okay, just you see that shape, draw it. Okay, you draw the shape, but what else? That's it. I had that type of teacher
oh wow,
in eighth grade and in freshman year. I had those type of teachers, and it was boring. It was actually boring.
yeah, yeah.
My high school teacher, and she would be like, "Oh yeah, just draw that and design whatever you think is in your head." Like, no, you gotta teach me what's next. You know, you can't just tell me and say just draw that shape and that's it. No, you
Just go
gotta tell me what's
crazy.
next. Yeah, it's like I'm drawing a circle. I could do that simple
That's
in my
funny.
house, and that's it. And and those other teachers that I'm telling you from those at our school, they were teaching me straight up really good, and they taught me so many things that your mind could go beyond. They always tell you break your mind, meaning that you could use your mind, go beyond in what you could draw, and it's cool because that's how you can create so many characters that you can bring to life.
Yeah,
When you're doing your own characters, it looks cool because you already have those characters that already exist. Like you have Spider-Man, you have Superman. Those guys already exist, and we can know that from the times that Superman was invented. Now, in the times of our era, Superman has evolved. Now, more buffer, more bigger, more stronger. More alien wise. And back then, like in our parent times, it was just like a guy with an S and a little symbol, and that was
little
it.
tight on.
Yeah, some spandex, and that was it.
Yeah.
And that was the whole thing that back then was actually artwork. Because my mom will actually will say the Superman that I know was the best one from this era.
Yeah.
Because she knew those Supermans from back then. But now for us, it's like, man, Superman has evolved, you know, and Spider-Man too. So Spider-Man has different types of costumes. Superman's still same costume, but they add like little things,
Yeah.
and that's
Little
how it
tweaks here
goes.
and there.
Yeah. So, I mean that you need a an art class for that. Well, if you want to learn, yeah, I recommend you to go. But if you think that you already have it in you, well, look for books, find out from other artists, ask questions, don't be afraid, you
Word.
know, just talk to them, and ask. I mean, I even when I'm on Instagram, I see some of these artists that they go live and they ask questions and they're saying, yeah, you gotta learn like this, you gotta do that, you gotta do this and that, and and you get the idea. But if you're trying to like their work, and you want to draw the same thing, just take it as a reference. You know, don't just copy it. You know, take it as a reference. Try to draw the same thing. There was this artist. I think his name was John Hun. I think that's his name.
Oh yeah,
He
he's really
draws.
dope.
Yeah, he draws um with pen. He doesn't draw with pencil. He starts with pen. And the thing about him is that he says that when you're starting to draw and the teacher's there drawing, follow what he's doing. If you really want to learn, follow what he's doing and learn. And like that, you could involve yourself by learning already how to draw. If you're not good with pen, because a lot of people are afraid of pen sometimes, you're like, oh, I can't start with the pen. I'm gonna go with the pencil. No, I mean, you could start with everything, with anything you have. But I mean, as long as you know what you're doing and you're learning, that's the thing that you start evolving more your art.
Yeah, great words. And we're at that 51 mark already. Holy crap, dude, that went by quick. Technically, yeah, they would. I hope it's more than an hour, man. But you want to keep going, dude, or
Yeah,
a
I
little
mean,
bit
I don't mind.
longer?
Yeah, I'll take another 30.
Okay, we'll do 30. Just really quick, let's go ahead and give out the prize for today. So we got quite a few viewers. I didn't really post it up. This is more like a blind prize or a blind giveaway here. So you guys are seeing it first here. I'm pretty sure some of you guys, I shared this with some of you guys, but there you go.
That's
And
the White Ranger, huh?
yeah, this is Lord Draken. Yeah.
No, no. See, I started reading some of the Power Ranger comics,
Oh yeah,
and,
they're
and you
dope,
know,
dude.
and I found out in the some of the issues, the one that I was reading, they were first aliens. It's like the movie. You know, they weren't humans yet; they were aliens, and I was like, well, pretty cool. But you know, they were using the original costumes. They were not using like the old, like the brand new costumes. They were using the original costumes from the 90s. So it was pretty dope.
Word. Yeah, that's very interesting. Very both the Go-Go and the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger series are definitely dope. This is where the character is from the Mighty Morphin from what's this guy?
Comic,
Kyle
right?
Higgins. Yeah, from the comics, Kyle Higgins. So the winner will be the first one to answer the question on name one of T-Toner's favorite comics. He mentioned it at the top of the hour. So first one, Tony, I'm gonna have you checking up on these people, make sure they're it's true what they said. I mean, I got it here, but if y'all can name one, just one. It could be I could have said two, but all I need is one. And that being said, bro, let's you gotta be more specific.
House of M.
House of
Seven
M.
is alive.
Oh, there you
He
go.
said it.
He
House of
called
M.
it.
There you go.
He called it. He won it. Killing Joke. Oh, Secreto. She came in
Yeah.
just a few
Superman.
seconds late. So who won it? Says or Seven?
It was 7.
Yeah, Seven.
He was the
So,
first one that answered.
yeah, Superman. Superman was the death of Superman.
That's the Superman.
That would have been correct. But Seven, you got it, bro. Send me your Addy again, man. We'll get that shipped out to you. You know how it is.
Oh yeah. Before we go on to the next, I told you I got you something, so I wanted to show it to you. I know you love you have your little panda, right?
Yeah,
Your
yeah.
mascot.
Yeah, I got my.
So I did one of my characters for you.
Oh, míralo.
So
Dude, that
I
is
gotta send you
badass.
this one.
Damn. Right. Damn. That's getting framed.
And then I don't know if you want to give this out to somebody. There's a Black Panther and the Power Ranger.
Oh, that is freaking dope, dude. Man, let's give that out to me. How about that?
Yeah, so so whoever you want to give it out to, bro, like I said, I'm gonna send you those two.
Cool. Well, I'll definitely hold a little contest later, so you guys, all the viewers, definitely stay tuned. As soon as I get it in my hands, I will post it up, and I'll come up with something. We'll come up with something, and we'll see what we could do. Man, you know, being the first time on the show, dude, I have a segment, you know, Josh's Tools. This is where we go and we check out the type of tools that you use. What do you recommend? What you don't recommend? What works for you? So
Okay, cool.
hopefully you got some handy, bro.
Yeah, I got some here.
Cool, cool. Let first off, mechanical or wooden pencil?
Wooden.
Wooden.
I have this one. This comes all the way from Switzerland. I think it's one of a good pencil. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let's see.
There it is.
Has blue lead and it has an eraser.
Oh
I
shit.
think this is one of the best pencils to me that I've been using. You can use it on any type of paper. But the thing is that it runs out of a lot of lead right away. Uh, you gotta keep sharpening and sharpening it. But if you want to do something really good with drawing your own characters or comic books, that's a good pencil to draw.
Where do you pick that up at?
I bought it at Blix.
Okay.
They don't sell it at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. You could look it up at Blix or go to the websites and start looking over. And you could see a lot of their work of their tools they have there. They have different types of tools, and it's pretty cool because um, this pencil, when you're drawing, you actually know how soft it goes with the paper, and it doesn't go like the number two pencil that just you could go really dark on it. No, it goes really soft. And when you're shading, it shades really, really nice. It doesn't go really dark, dark. I mean, you could tell where's your shadow at.
Okay.
So that's one of the things that I really like. And then, in certain pencils, like with the number two pencils or anything that you're drawing, like H4HB or HB or just the number B, some of those are shadow pencils. So the thing is that with those pencils, when you're trying to erase, it still stays the dark part of it. And with that one, with that blue one, it just erases off everything. But you actually do need an eraser. So my other tool for erasers, Moon, I think it's called, yeah, Moon Eraser. So I think this is like the best one for me. I even use this one, little dark one.
That one's good.
And yeah, and I mean those, yeah. There you go. And those are the things that erase really good. Everything turns white, doesn't stay there. And for pen, I use the Tombow Sakura. The thing that I like about these is that the tip, it bends. So anytime you're drawing something, say for example, you even bend the tip. I don't know if you guys can see it. You bend the tip. It doesn't break. So it's pretty good.
And sorry to cut you off real quick, but right now Instagram just gave me the time remaining. It says I'm down to about a minute and a half, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe I need to update my fucking app. Probably. Mm-hmm. So we got about a minute and something. Hold off on that. Let's finish it off, and then we'll go on ahead for an extra half if you're down with that, bro. So for you guys that are joining in, we're talking to T-Toner 30, awesome artist from Kansas out there. Home of Mr. Superman Clark Kent himself. Yeah, I ain't famous enough. That's what it is, Pez. So yeah, make sure you guys are definitely following them. We're down to about 40 seconds. We'll definitely get back and we'll leave off where right there, checking out the tools. You know what I mean? Sweet. So that being said, brother, I'm gonna go ahead and finish it off now. Make sure you guys join us and come right back. Give it about 30 seconds to about a minute. Let me just go ahead and get these notes on there, and we'll be back in a quick flash. All right, Tony, hold on, brother. All right?
All right.
We'll be back, man. All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining in, and come right back. Don't go anywhere. Peace.